Holy crap. It's happening again. Why? Um, Another one. Um, I think England's gonna like implode. It's um, I've been kind of saying it for a while, and people need to start like getting rid of some of these. Like, gotta get rid of some of these migrants. I don't care, and I'm talking about any country, all countries, all Western countries. I know this is a really hot take, kind of, but I don't really care. And I got some. I mean, here's the thing that I saw on X. Asmon's already on it. Asmon's going.
UK migrant happened today. What? Stabbed in the neck in daylight. So arresting a 30-year-old man on suspicion of attempted murder shortly after the assault. Officers detained the shirtless suspect near a police vehicle. Authorities are increasing patrol. This shit just happened. There he is. Damn. What a surprise. And this was literally an hour ago. This was today. You can check the Reddit comments where they ban everyone. Oh no! Yikes! The footage has gone a tad viral on X. It's brutal, the poor girl. And yes, the suspect is someone who could set off more riots if the girl had died. I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes a difference.
No,
That's a
it
short
doesn't matter
article.
anymore.
I can guess who the attacker might be. And you're right. This kind of violence seems to be happening every day now. Here's what's funny, is that it's been happening every day for probably 10 years. The reason why you're hearing about it now, imagine like there's an entire sewage system. Nobody is letting any of it out because, oh my god, if it gets out, then people will realize how much this whole place smells like shit. But then Elon Musk went and he opened the pipe and he let people on Twitter express what they really think. Imagine this fucking barbarian is running after.
So anyway, I've made a video or two that I think nobody's watched, but it doesn't really matter. Stop protecting them. Like, it's not. I mean, I don't care what code or creed you come from. Once people are stabbing other people, and yes, it's getting out now. Anybody who actually tries to dig a little bit has known that this is happening, but the people who dig, I think what it was is that we knew if not enough people knew about it, they would guarantee get rid of us. Like they'd throw us in the sewage tank, like this, as Asmon's kind of using as an example. And like I said, at this point, I don't care one way or another if anyone sees this, but I've said this kind of since I started this channel. In some of my, I don't know, rants or raves or whatever you want to call it. It's not really a rant or a rave. It's just me saying, hey, guys, I don't. And the thing is that my point to my channel is that I want both sides to be able to understand each other and not hate each other anymore like we are nowadays. But I don't care what moral standing you have, but once enough of this happens and it can't be held back by the floodgates anymore, um, whoever even looks or acts or is from the place that these bad actors, because everybody says, well, not all. Well, yes, it's not all. Everyone, even Asmongold or any of the people who have been trying to say, hey, this is wrong, this is bad, people, or and everybody just wants to disagree with that person instead of addressing the problem. Um, if you don't finally decide to get rid of the people that are bad actors to supposedly protect the good people, Well, here's the thing. If you don't actually act on getting rid of the bad actors, all have to leave because then you're going to have the majority of public opinion against those people because and you can see what's happening in Ireland now. Well, North Ireland, you know, beatings, lootings. Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. It was in my timeline earlier, but and I know this isn't something that we want to really show, but well, I'm not going to show it, but um, if I can find it in the timeline, you can look it up yourself on X. I should have saved it, but I didn't. Um, anyway, it was a group of individuals from Ireland uh, chasing and pinning a group of most likely migrant people up against a fence. Or not a fence, it's more like a barricade. So nobody, if it basically guides people walking a path or something. But they pinned them up against it and they're literally walloping them. And it's there's there's nothing saying that they were actually bad people. There's nothing saying those were the people who committed some kind of crime, but they don't care anymore. They've had enough. They want them out. And it's too far down the timeline. Oh no, maybe I'm actually getting close because I remember seeing that one. Um, nope, 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 nope. Let's see. I know that this is horrible for the video, but I really don't care. Um, there's some action in Belfast, and I think I can't remember if I heard it from Nux or if it was Asmond who said it on an earlier video that I saw today, or maybe whatever. But they were saying, well, don't. Um, why are you guys burning the buildings or whatever? Because once the migrants are gone, um, those would be the housing for like the elderly and stuff. Um, that might be true, but their suggestion was to take it to the politicians or whatever. Um, as soon as you threaten the politicians, they're going to tell the police or the military to use even more forceful means than a water cannon. Because as soon as you directly encounter the people who have the ability to order the military or something to do something, that's when you're asking for the ultimate sacrifice. And I don't think people are really willing to do that yet. But the point is that so the best target would be actually what they're doing right now. Oh, here it is. This one right here. Irish Patriot. Yeah, that's enough of that. Anyway, because yeah, we. Anyway, so there's that. Um, yeah. So just the context. So again, Once again, another thing happened, which was not. It was in Burnley this time that the girl was stabbed. Um, which I'm not exactly sure where that is. I want to say that's actually not in Ireland. I want to say, I got a feeling that's in Wales. Actually, let's find out. Uh, oh God, bright screen. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, let's see where this is. Burnley. Not quite Wales, but all right. So between Leeds and Blackpool, um, I don't know what to say. It's we're just asking for trouble, and then of course I mean, there's been a few reactions to Jake. He's from Belfast, from Northern Ireland. He's not from it, but he's like lives nearby. Um, and this is just, I mean,
Not to incite violence, not to try and encourage more people to partake in violence, because, quite frankly, violence, historically speaking, is incredibly effective. There have been many immigrants who have decided to re-migrate themselves, and violence seems to be the only thing that actually worked. Now, this is a very dangerous precedent that has been set, isn't it? Oh dear.
yeah, I'm I've been saying this, and yeah, we're getting to the point where the inaction because of uh, moral high grounding or multiculturalism or um, uh, whatever you want to call that ideology, because at this point it's more of a who's got the mindset, not really if you're left, right, center, whatever. Um, we stayed on that horse too long, and now that horse is bucking, and um, I believe it's almost too late for the multiculturalists to save a single person. Almost everyone has to leave whatever country they're in because I mean, this is just the start. If you keep on, and what it is, so what it was is, all right. So say you got a bad actor, they stab someone. You don't do anything about it. You push it under the rug, and then it happens again and again, and then you hide it again, and it happens again. And then once that sewage tank, as Asmongold called it, um, overflows or someone opens the tap, be it whichever way, I want to say it's overflowing too. I mean, just because Elon Musk opened the tap to let the stuff out with X, like Asmon referred to, I'm pretty sure some of the sewage was already flowing over the top because I didn't need X to tell me that. Um, I already had the assumption that it was starting to be that way. Um, and so when you end up uh, doing that, the brush it on the rug, the people who are getting away with it get encouraged to get away with it. And then since they're being so since certain people, the bad ones, are encouraged to do it, now they're going to do it more obviously, more blatantly. It's just human nature that you get away with something, you're going to do it more, and that applies to anything that people do. People who steal more until they get caught, or you know, people who embezzle from a company. Um, a lot of times they'll embezzle a little bit of money and then realize, oh, hey, I got away with it. Nobody noticed. So then they do it again. And next time that might be a bigger amount. And then a bigger amount and bigger amount and bigger amount. And then until the amount gets big enough where they get caught. And that applies to everything. But the thing about human nature when it comes to this kind of stuff is the people who are actually having to take the punishment of the bad actors because it's a much more severe act. It's not like just stealing some money or anything. Granted, a lot of people are starting to be fatigued from that in other aspects in other places, and we could talk about America's fatigue that they're starting to develop because we don't have. I mean, we're kind of trying to solve the migrant problem, so that's not like going to overflow into crazy stuff like what's happening in Europe. But we have other fatigues like the theft fatigue, where and it's a good portion of a certain group of people too. But once you become fatigued, we're pretty much using the word fatigued as a we've noticed enough, and now we're getting to the point where we can't tolerate it anymore. Um, if you don't fix the problem before people get to that point, they will take that fatigue out on the entire group of people instead of just the bad actors, because you don't necessarily know who the bad actors is. The common person, the common civilian or citizen, whatever you want to call it, you look down the street and it's like, was that the guy who did that? I don't know. Looks like the guy that did it. Sounds like the guy who did it. Must be the guy who did it. Let's get him, boys. And that's what's happening now. And so now, instead of fixing the problem before the sewage tank filled up and overflowed, and the spigot got cracked wide open because somebody made it to their. Uh, Nobody's going to tell me that Elon Musk made it to his fatigue level already compared to the other people. Um, Otherwise, he wouldn't have cracked. He wouldn't have opened the pipe. He wouldn't have done what he did unless he was already upset enough about it. So, um, there's really no saving a single one of the people that look or act like those people. Because if you wanted to actually be multiculturalist, you actually have to still fix the bad actors. You have to get rid of the bad actors. You have to do that. You can't protect them all. You can only you have to get rid of them. I mean and by getting rid of them, what it is that's really actually the counterbalance that people of multiculturalism needed to find, because what it is you want to have a group of people come in and say you're multicultural or you're accepting or whatever. Those people who come in have to be close enough to your moralities, your commonalities, I guess, whatever, to um, assimilate. Bad actors are not that. They are. I mean, well, let's put it this way: if you have a white person who kills a white person, do you want that other white person to go to jail for killing someone? Yeah, we do. Well, then the same applies to them, and it shouldn't. And it shouldn't matter. So, oh God, I'm kind of rambling, but not really. I mean, it's. I wanted to this. I pretty much made this channel too late. Um, I wanted to be able to find a common ground between all the people and all the thoughts, and because I like thinking and I like actually de- I can't I mean I welcome debate, but I also want to I want to debate someone who's willing to listen. And man, it's not good. um Maybe if well, I can't say that it's not my fault. I'm only one person, obviously, but I wish there was more people who were inclined to be. Well, it's hard to be centrist nowadays because of how everything went. Um, I wish there was a way that we could have not made it to the point that we are, because now we pretty much have to do a reset. Um, we have to get the people who don't fit in out. We need to establish what our principles are again inside of countries. And then maybe we can let some people trickle back in after maybe 10, 20 years. Maybe. Because I agree with deporting people. I agree with it wholeheartedly. I believe that you should deport bad actors. You should deport people who um, don't say that this is their country now. I don't believe, like, another hot take. People are going to get mad at me. Elon Omar. Somalia isn't your country anymore. The U.S. is. I don't believe in. I really, really don't believe in multiple citizenship. Like a lot of like, if I wanted to, I could actually get my citizenship over in Germany if I wanted to, because I have family over there, and I could, that means that I could actually vote in the German election, and influence the way that country runs, even though I don't live there. I don't know how things are going. I mean, family members can tell me how things are going, but I mean, I don't talk to them often enough to be able to say that I know how things are going. And so I shouldn't have the right to vote there. And that's my personal opinion. There should be no two citizenship people that, and you it should just not happen anymore. Um anyway, we're going to continue with Jake, and it's just, I mean, it's pretty much just him saying they don't want to deal with it anymore. But
You've got 20 years of people saying remigration. You've got the last 5 years of people saying remigration just a little bit louder. And then in 3 days, we managed to motivate foreigners themselves to off. That sets a very dangerous precedent, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. What an example to set. That really is quite an interesting example to set for the rest of the world. And do you know what? I feel vindicated. I really do. Because I said this was going to happen. I said this was going to happen, and I said this was going to happen in regards to a civil war, and it was going to be related to immigration, and it was most likely going to be related to Rupert Law. Now, a lot of people have said, well, white people are the minority in some cities. Listen, white people aren't like the people, okay? White people aren't like Africans. White people are an entirely different class of their own, okay? You piss off white people to the point where they start to push back, get a helmet. Run as fast as you can. In fact, it doesn't even matter. They'll catch you. They'll catch you, and they'll do the most unspeakable things to you. And then they'll find where you were trying to run back to and make sure that there's nothing left there. But this is an incredible response. I mean, look, let me find the attitude here from a couple of migrants in Belfast in response to the situation that's been going on here. There were two, I think, Ugandan. I think there were two Ugandan immigrants. Rwanda. Let's watch this video together and let's see if we can pick up on the same things.
Good. 3 things.
I am scared. Ugandan student nurse forced to flee Belfast home after violent protest.
From the house. And the only thing I did not get from the house were the letters my children wrote for me, because that is all I have from my children, the letters that they wrote for me 3 years back when I was leaving them back home. I think that is the only thing I didn't get. I only got my passport, my laptop, and my uniform, because I have to go to work.
Can I really be able to stay here? Will I be safe because of what happened and the whole experience? So just know I'm scared.
Absolutely nothing about the deaf guy that got his face gouged off by a Sudanese prick. Absolutely nothing. Not a word. I don't feel safe here now. I want to go home. Wow, look at that. Look at that. A little bit of heat on the ground and they get to go home. Listen, whenever they come here and they start slicing us up into pieces, we can't leave. We can't go home. There's nowhere for us to go. We have to stay here and put up with it. What the f do you think people were gonna do? She's dealing with violence. She's scared for her life, I guess. And she's like, I need to go home. I can no longer stay here. Oh, well, that's good. That's great for you. That's great for you, love. We can't. We have to sit here and watch all of you come in here and increasingly make it more shit. And where the go? Nowhere. Also, the letters from your children that you left to come here, you can go home. You burn the letters up, but you can just go home to your kids. Get the like. Not a single word about the safety of white people, about this guy that was attacked, about I can see why they are doing this, because in Uganda, if white men show up to my country and he slice a deaf African man's face, we would burn him. Is what she would, right? That's what she'd say. That's what she should be saying. I understand the violence. In Rwanda, if Northern Irish man come to Rwanda and slice African man face, we will beat him and we will kill him. But we're not allowed to riot. We're not allowed to show you with enthusiasm how much we don't want you here. In Wakanda? In Wakanda, if white men show up. The double standards are incredible. Not a word said. She grabbed her laptop and nurse outfit so she could keep working, but not her kids' letters, the thing that she's most sad about losing. Because it was the only thing that wasn't provided to her by taxpayer money. So yeah, these two black nurses won't talk about the fact that if a white man did that in Uganda, they'd probably act even worse. They'd have their very own justice, where they'd find the guy, they'd find the white man, and they'd rip him up like pepper. We would find the white man, and we'd rip him up like pepper. Like that. I don't know why every African is a tribesman from Ace Ventura, Nature Calls. Yeah, not a word said about the attack. Not a word said about how they'd probably be doing the exact same thing in their own country. Just, I lost some letters and now I have to go home. Oh, well, if you have to go, would you like some cake for no more taxpayer money? No cake for you. You can actually just f off. So funny. So funny how they just seem to only care about themselves. Let's see, where was this here?
Get on, mate. Cheers. Whoa! I don't know why we're running. People just started sprinting. There must be at least two. Bloody hell, what's going on? Oh. People are running. I know what's happening. People are just running. This guy's in camo.
Apparently, this is the Irish hunting for migrant-infested housing. By the way, this is what remigration was going to look like. This whole like, well, all we have to do is just make a hostile environment for them, and they would leave, right? You know, like rejecting any and all of their customs being allowed into the country, blah 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 blah. They were going to be in the streets. They were going to refuse to leave. In fact, it was going to look something like this video. This is a shit ton of armed foreigners walking through the center of the city. I don't know what city this is or when this was, but point stands. This is what it's gonna look like. This is what remigration is gonna look like. They don't want to go, bruv. Nah, they don't want to go, bruv. They want to kill you. They don't want to go, bruv. Look at them. Can you hear what they're saying?
Nope.
Can you hear what they're saying? You should be able to... it should be very familiar, this word. Allahu Akbar is what they're saying. Allahu Akbar. Oh, it was always going to look like this, lads. You really think remigration was going to be anything but this? Absolutely what it's going to look like. Okay, we were going to tell them to fuck off. We were going to tell them no more benefits, no more synagogues, no more mosques, no more kosher, no more halal, no more Palestinian flags everywhere, no more asylum seekers, no more DEI giving you free jobs and shit. And I've said this 1,000 times. They were never going to hear this, see this, and go, okay, well, I guess I'll just return back to Iraq, I guess. Back to Iraq, that rhymes. Okay, everyone, back in the... Get in the Picasso. Get in the Citroen. We're going back home. They were never gonna do that. And we weren't gonna be standing at the beach as they leave being like, thank you, come again. They'll be like, oh, funny joke. You've made your point. Bye-bye. They weren't gonna do that. If any idea what it took for them to get here? The inhuman treatment and conditions they have to endure to get here to get free shit. They're gonna go nuts. Do you know what no more mosques is? It's not building anymore. It's getting rid of the ones that are already here. How do you think that's going? What do you think that's gonna do? They're watching their mosques get removed. Their places of worship, their calls to prayer. All of this shit's gone. They're gonna take this as the Muslim Brotherhood's gonna blow shit up. They're gonna go nuts. And on top of that, they're looking at all of their places of worship get destroyed, pulled down, replaced with a nice Tesco or a Eurospar or a Londis or a Tesco Ultra. That'd be great. And while that's happening, while they're watching their mosques get pulled down and replaced with a Primark, they're also losing their benefits, their free shit. Oh yeah, Muhammad Hussein Muhammad. Yeah, you and your 8 children wiped out. That's it. No more money for you. You gotta get a job, fella. Oh, you're too stupid to do a skilled job? Well, shit, that sucks. Well, little Ahmed, he's quite mad about this. Oh, yeah. He can't go out and pray anymore like it's Baghdad, and he doesn't get free money all the fucking time. Shit. He's faced with one possible option. Going back to Baghdad. Chat, do you want to go to Baghdad? You want to go there? No, neither does he. Unfortunately, he's from there. We're not. So he's gonna have to go back. If we had a magic spell that returned everyone back to where they were originally from, he would go back there. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna go out into the streets. They're gonna get their Shastars and their Kurpans and their Bing Bongs and their Kloopity Claws, and they're gonna be out in the streets clanging their bling blings, and they're gonna be getting real mad. Every blade is curved. Every single one. Everything's curved. Curved blades. It'll be the Moors versus the English out there. Remigration was always gonna look like this. It's absolutely inevitable.
I have nothing other than, that's pretty much what it's just gonna look like this, and it's not gonna be very fun. And I don't know what else to say, other than people should have started cutting off the problems a long time ago. Should have never made it so easy. Should have, should have just stopped. We have all this stuff going on, and all what they're doing is I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I don't, honestly, I kind of want to know what the opinion on, like, the left is, but not politician left. I really want to know what an intelligent person who believes in multiculturalism, that's not a politician, who's not a extremist who doesn't listen. I want to know what those people think. Like, is there a solution to this? Is there a way to make multiculturalism work anymore now that it's gone so far off the deep end? Because I like the premise behind it. Don't get me wrong. I'm weird. I have left and right thoughts all the time. I think that it was possible, but it isn't possible anymore. Because of the state what everyone's let this go to. Like, if it would have, if I don't want to say you guys, but it's only the easiest way to say it. If you guys wouldn't have pushed it so far, if you would have said, okay, we need to stop now, let everybody, like, simmer down, get rid of the bad ones, and integrate them. Because, you know, the funniest argument I've heard about multiculturalism, oh, we wouldn't have chili, we wouldn't have Indian curry, we wouldn't have all these, like, all this good food, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have any of the Asian cuisine. Um, well, nowadays, I mean, a white guy can cook a freaking Asian cuisine. Um, I can make, I do make curry. My wife loves my curry, and it's Indian curry. I mean, I get everything that you put in an Indian curry. I mean, mine's a little milder, but it's still an Indian curry. It's a mild Indian curry compared to what you could actually have. I make Chinese stuff. I make Korean stuff, and I mean authentic stuff. I'm not talking about Americanized Chinese. I'm not talking about, you know, I make like ginger chicken and I mean Mongolian without actually the American. You know, it's spicier. I mean, all this. We can say, oh, we want all of the food from over there, and that's a good thing. And we want to understand their culture because we like their food. Okay. Um, I don't have a good reason for multiculturalism anymore. Like I used to like it, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some multiculturalism aspects because it's really weird. Like once once somebody's in a country for another generation, like um, good example. I have a friend who I worked with back in the day at Walmart, and he was actually from Morocco, um, Muslim, spoke Arabic, um, and he was a decent guy. But the thing is about where Morocco. I mean, I don't know if lots of people aren't good with geography, but it's the country that's south of Spain in Africa. Probably one of the most sane countries in Africa, actually, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Um, you don't hear about too many extremists coming from there, so they're like a mild Muslim. Um, I'm sure there are some extremists. I'm not going to sit there and deny that either, but he was sane. He was trained. He was a trained engineer. He sadly, because he was trained in the school system over there, he wasn't allowed to use his engineering degree over here. It's the same with my mother. She was an architect over in um, Germany, but she couldn't use her degree from a German university over here. She would actually have to go and get research. She would have had to get recertified and go to college for 3 years in the U.S. to even get the recertification. And she was kind of busy with me and my brother. So, um, but that he was a cool guy. And then I talked to some other people. I've talked to a couple of people I know, and there's someone I talked to that he lived in another state where there's a few more Muslims in that state, and he talked about how he had some friends that were Muslims, but they were second generation. They weren't first generation Muslims. They were more sane. They had some Americanism. They didn't know a single bit um, of the radical ideas from their homelands. and they also, but this area there was some Muslims, but they didn't have like an established mosque or anything. So these were obviously more agnostic Muslims, like they didn't fully practice it, but they were still Muslims. Um, it's somebody tell me. I mean, I personally think multiculturalism is a good thing if regulated. Like, let 1% of people come in per, well, sadly per generation. And when I mean generation, that means, the standard generation, like the 15-year generation mark. So you can assume that they'll have kids, and those kids will be already second generation by the time you let the next group come in. Um, I don't know. It's one of those. It's so bad and sad all at the same time because what to the true enemy were the people who didn't solve the problems. They just let people in continuously and didn't regulate it in any way, shape, or form. And now you're going to have literally a generation of people who hate those other people now. Um, because the only way how you pin a guy up against a fence and wail on him is hate. And and it, and I don't think it would matter what color or race, or it wouldn't matter. It would exist based on the actions of the bad actors. This isn't a normal hate. This isn't racism. This isn't anything like that. It goes beyond what color. I mean, it goes beyond color or religion or anything like that. Because if those people would have the same decencies, moralities, and everything, that is sparking this anger and this hatred, um, if they would, they wouldn't have the tendencies that they have. They wouldn't disturb, and the funniest part about it is, for instance, I saw something where, um, it was another English policeman. They were threatening a guy for disturbing the peace for a T-shirt he had on because it had a naughty word on it. Okay, so a naughty word on a T-shirt is disturbing the peace, but having a guy pull out a prayer rug in the middle of a hallway so a guy can't even walk past him, uh, that's not disturbing the peace. You're impeding someone's ability to move through a building. That's the that's close enough to it too. You can see something you don't like. It's causing you um, detriment. It's could be making you late for work, so it could be emotionally damaging you. Um, you know, all the things that are applied to this T-shirt. It's a bad word, so it's emotionally damaging. It's in public, so the guy's kneeling on the floor praying in the way, not even caring about the people around him, aka the same thing with the T-shirt. Oh, the people around you is going to have all these problems with it. how does it not apply the same? It applies the same. Um, just because it's not officially a naughty word or something. Um, this is insanity at this point. This is literal insanity at this point. Um, Migrants are stabbing people, disfiguring them, almost killing them, and killing them. And then everyone doesn't expect a proportional response. You know, you're not allowed to have a proportional response. And actually, like, how does that go with America? Like, think about this. Um, Apache got shot down. We're going to have a proportional response. Oh, we blow up a whole freaking island of oil or whatever the hell we hit. I don't even know what we hit. That part I didn't look at yet. But, you know, they attacked us during the ceasefire. Well, let's beat the hell out of them. Because, I mean, that's the same. I mean, if they can't not attack us, we can attack them. We're going to, and our proportional response is, well, we have a way bigger military than you. So you have one drone, we have 1,000 drones compared to your one drone. So proportionally, it's 1,000 times worse than what you can do. So that's proportional. If you think about it, I mean, if you use some crazy math, you know, or actually legit math, because I mean, if you're 1,000 times, if your military is 1,000 times bigger than their military, so if they attack you during a ceasefire, we have 1,000 times more, so therefore our response can be 1,000 times more for one go. That's proportional because our proportions are so different. You know, um, I don't know what to say anymore. Anyway, I'm just gonna cut it off right there. And if anyone really wants to leave a comment, just explain to me. I welcome a leftist viewpoint. Um, how, I mean, and don't give me the generic stuff. Give me an actual like multicultural. I agree, multiculturalism can be a good thing, but I want the left to think outside the box. I want them to say, "Hey, um, actually, what would be even more astounding would be somebody actually saying, "Hey, yeah, we were kind of wrong. We should have maybe scaled this back or rethought what our response to um, incompatible people are." I mean, or like give me an argument for why you believe you couldn't get rid of the bad actors. Like, you see what I'm trying to say? I want somebody to actually explain to me what the logic of not getting rid of bad actors was. And I'm not talking about the generic, the high and mighty. Oh, that just makes us better people and whatever and whatever and whatever. Obviously, nobody cares about that anymore. So the argument needs to change. It needs to have a different aspect that can actually be discussed, not um, continuing the same rhetoric. Like, you can't say, "Oh, this is an atrocious act." Well, okay, well, it might be atrocious, but why is it happening, and how can we fix it? What's the response? Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and if you guys watch it, cool. If you don't, have a good night.